So, Batman v Superman is finally out on DVD, and apparently there's a director's cut that may fix some of the things. I don't know. And I guess now it's okay to talk about the movie without any spoilers whatsoever, if you kind of care about that thing. Honestly, I have to admit the movie is entirely lackluster. It fails to live up to the expectations in most ways, but it's a watchable movie with at least one cool action scene, a whole bunch of dumb scenes, including a really dumb resolution to the main conflict. Like, seriously, that's the dumbest thing ever. On top of that, the ending's stupid. Now, if you're in the market for a good Batman Superman crossover that isn't the cartoons, the video game, the comics themselves, that we have a book here, and Enemies and Allies by Kevin J. Anderson. The book details the first meeting of Batman and Superman in this universe. All this takes place during the Cold War, with tensions between the US and Russia, then on to the Soviet Union, mounting, and the Cold War going to become very hot very soon. Of course, the story follows Batman and Superman as they deal with their respective issues. Bruce Wayne dealing with his distance from Wayne Tech, as well as his own superstitions about Superman, whether or not he's an alien, as well as whether or not he can be trusted, and Superman dealing with his own distance between his two identities of alien superhero and normal average guy, as well as the role he should play with humanity. Humanity in this case, in this era, meaning America, essentially. We also follow Lex Luthor and Lois Lane, Lois doing her best to solve the ongoing mystery, while Lex working on his various sinister machinations to make profit. His ultimate goal throughout the whole book is make more money. The book overall works as a pretty decent mystery, but if you have any knowledge of the DCU as a whole, as well as what role everything eventually ends up taking, everything's going to play out pretty obviously. However, it's still an enjoyable time while you're experiencing it. One thing I love about it is the whole time period. The Cold War is one of the best eras in terms of comic book storylines, such as my favorite DCU animated work currently is The New Frontier, which takes place during this exact same time period. The superheroes question their place in the world, if they fight for the world or their countries. And, well, it's a great setting, especially for this tale. Another thing I like about this book is how it represents kryptonite. Pretty much every writer takes their own take on the green substance, and this one accentuates the radioactive qualities of it all, adding in some interesting side effects to humans that mutate them into lumbering radioactive beasts. Adding on that this is Superman's first experience with kryptonite in this universe, it adds an interesting ticking clock element to the whole thing, because eventually these two elements are going to have to collide. And of course, it's going to be the moment where Batman decides that Superman is a trustworthy ally. And of course, we get some old school Bat tech. The gadgets are on point, they are excellent, and the adventure shows Batman at his finest as not only a detective as he solves a mystery, but also as, well, a crime-fighting Batman with his own gadgets and whatnot. But doesn't forget the fact he's human, as he has his own difficulties here and there with normal, everyday, average things, like dogs. Lex Luthor and Lois Lane are also pretty well done. While it is a bit tiring to see Lois Lane pine for Superman over and over again, she's still the intrepid reporter we've all come to know and love. You don't like Batman v Superman where she's pretty much useless. Lex is just as conniving and self-serving as one would expect from Lex Luthor, with a bit of sexism added on, which was pretty typical of the era, sacrificing anyone and everyone at his own convenience in order to further his own goals. Hell, even Jimmy Olsen gets a chapter where we get a look into his head. It's a pretty good one, setting up a bit of fear and paranoia, and a lot better than this kind of neat wink and nod reference he got in Batman v Superman. Man, bringing up that comparison a lot, aren't I? Overall, I have to say, if you're a fan of the old school style comics, the DCU, Superman, or Batman, this book is a must read, especially if you're disappointed by how Batman v Superman turned out, kind of like how I was. Let's all hope that Justice League is a lot better, and they also make a book that's just as good as this one.